All right. Welcome everyone. Welcome. Okay, I think the audio is working fine here. Okay, well, as you guys clearly see on the title of this live, and also if you guys have read the description box, which I highly recommend you guys to do every single time on any of my streams or any of the videos, you guys should know that we're about to talk about some very good potential short squeeze stocks. So first of all, if you guys didn't know, GME, GameStop, AMC, and all the other major short squeeze tickers that we saw literally short squeezing really well in 2021 are making a comeback. Why? Because the original short squeeze trader, quote unquote, the Roaring Kitty is back, right? And he has revealed a huge position, and it seems like based on the after hours price action on GME, he is literally trying to get into that billionaire status on paper because he is holding quite a lot of call options and shares on GME. And so, hey, what's up, Hugo? What's up? So the Roaring Kitty actually has a live stream coming on tomorrow at, I believe, 9 a.m. Eastern Pacific Standard Time or 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And, excuse me, guys. Here, let me drink some water. Whoa, 6 likes. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Wow. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. And so it's pretty interesting to see how the other highly shorted stocks are starting to react. And specifically tonight, as I've said in the discussion box below, I want to talk about UPST and SPWR because they have such huge high short floats or short interest percentages. And both of these two stocks have yet to see a nice big move to the upside, a nice short squeeze to the upside. So here are the opportunities waiting for you guys on UPST and SPWR. So as you guys see here on the weekly time frame for UPST, I'm going to quickly go over this. This is going to be a pretty quick live stream since this is essentially what I want to be looking at tomorrow for my private members and report readers. So UPST has been coming out of a pretty, it's a pretty wacky base. I'm not saying it's not a textbook base here, but it's been kind of moving sideways in between 26 and 23 on the weekly time frame. And so far this week, we're making a nice hammer candlestick for the first week of June, which is great, which means that there is a possibility for us to continue to move to the upside if we do close with a nice weekly hammer candlestick and continue to the upside next week. Now, UPST itself is a very highly shorted name. So if I look up here for the short interest percentage, okay, there real quick here, right? So this is a very high short float name, and I believe, I don't know why it's not coming up on here, but let me try and looking up on here for UPST. Okay. So this one has a 34.14% for the short interest percent, or the percent float. I mean, that's big, right? And they have about less than 7 days to cover. So UPST was one of those names that has had a huge momentum ride up thanks to retail, especially retail traders. And if the entire meme stock rally continues to get wind from, just everyone, quite literally every single person that is considered retail traders, they will start to shop around and look for other highly shorted stocks like UPST and SPWR, which I will talk about shortly. So UPST, again, very high short interest percentage float, and so far we are seeing some good options positioning coming in to UPST as well, and we saw that coming in late into the day for UPST, and I'll go over that shortly too. So from a technical perspective, it's a very ugly looking name. I mean, this is quite a wiki and very bad looking chart. It's just overall moving lower and lower and lower, but it's had its fair share of pops to the upside, like we saw last year and late last year as well. So if UPST can see a short squeeze, I would expect it to at least minimum retest this major weekly level of resistance at 29, okay, and eventually potentially break over 29 and retest the weekly 50 SMA. And that would be a perfect, almost a mean reversion trade, to be honest. Not even just a short squeeze trade. It could be a perfect mean reversion trade. Excuse me, guys. Give me 1 second here. All right, I had to cough a little bit, guys, so I had to mute the mic. So from that perspective, it can be called a short squeeze trade as well, but it's basically a mean reversion trade on UPST. As you can see, a nice mean reversion move back towards this weekly 50 SMA after breaking below it in February of this year. So in that case, what option contracts can we use, okay, for this one tomorrow, for at least an opening of a new position? So based on the options flow on UPST, we saw a huge buying of, let me actually bring this to you guys here, on the options chain, okay, there we go. So right here, at the end of the last hour of today's market trading hours, UPST on the July 19th expiration date saw the 35 call strike contracts seeing a buy of 9,000 contracts. I mean, it was just flat out outright buying of 9,000 contracts on this 35 strike call contract. And guess what? This lines up with our weekly 50 SMA, because the weekly 50 SMA is currently at $31.32, and that's pretty close to 35 bucks if we are to expect a short squeeze. Now, obviously, again, a simple retest of the weekly 50 SMA, that's a simple mean reversion trade. However, if you are to apply a potential short squeeze, we can see the price rising further than the weekly 50 and potentially hitting the next major weekly level of resistance, sitting at, drumroll please, 35.50. And apparently this trader has a similar level on the weekly time frame at 35.50 because they chose to use 35 strike call contracts. And guess what? It's relatively cheap, okay? However, like with all the other meme stock tickers that we've seen running today, like GME and AMC, they all have crazy IVs, okay, implied volatility, and that's also allowing the premiums to surge as well. And so UPST near the end of today, we saw a nice surge in IV based on this option flow on this specific call contract, and this outright buying of 9,000 contracts saw the IV surging to highs near the close. And I wouldn't be surprised if the contracts end up opening up tomorrow around, like, you know, who knows, maybe $1 per contract, because right now it ended up at 65 cents here, or if you guys want to, you know, use the actual value here, so 65 bucks per contract. So tomorrow it might open up more than $100 per contract, who knows, due to the IV surge that this specific ticker saw on this specific contract. But then again, just from a technical standpoint and based on the option flow here on this specific call contract, it seems like we're looking for a sweet mean reversion plus the added on short squeeze towards this 35.50 target. Okay, so that is what I'm going to be looking out for UPST tomorrow. So if you guys want to follow that trade, make sure you guys join us. Okay, become a reader of the CFO Swing Watch newsletter report and become a member of the private CFO Discord, because that's exactly where I will be executing on that specific UPST call contract. Does that make sense, guys? So if you guys want to know when I do execute on that specific call contract that I just told you guys about, make sure you guys join us. All right, we'll be going over that trade together. And last but not least, SPWR. Okay, so this one has been making some rounds on Twitter today, actually. I mean, I talked about it with some of my members a few weeks ago, I think 2 weeks ago, and now I mentioned it again today. But this one is looking pretty interesting as well, because this one is actually, it looks a lot better than UPST. I mean, frankly speaking, we have an actual base here, a nice ascending triangle chart pattern. Hey, what's up, guys? Make sure you guys smash that like button if you guys are enjoying the live, and if you guys are just joining in, make sure you guys watch the recording. Very, very important. So, you know, this one obviously looks a lot better than UPST, you know, as it bases out, quote unquote bases out, consolidates this large move down, because SPWR has also seen a very large move down. And this it's a shit it's a shit company, right? It's a shit company. It's in the same business with other solar companies. And this one is just, it looks like it's just a good for nothing company that's only useful for short squeezes, unfortunately. All right, so for SPWR, this one has a huge short float percentage as well, right? The short interest SI percent float is very, very large, and it's even larger than UPST. So here it is. Okay, 45.67%, nearly 46% of short interest percent float. And that is pretty high, and also has about 6 days to cover. So this one can definitely start to squeeze as well. I mean, even just the after hours for SPWR, it seems like it's already starting its rally to the upside and starting to squeeze out the shorts. So the specific contract that I want to look at for SPWR is the June 21st 4 strike call contracts. Okay, so right around here. So this one is even cheaper, right? But SPWR on the other hand is a lot more it's seeing a lot more activity on the call contracts compared to the put contracts. So it's a little bit of a call skew on SPWR, which makes it even more attractive for shorts to be completely squeezed out of their positions. And again, if you guys don't remember what a short squeeze is, it's usually followed by the cascading of shorts closing their positions at a loss, which makes even more shorts to close their position, and that allows the price to continue to rally up higher and higher and higher. And as that is happening, even more shorts have to close their positions because they're losing money on that short position. And that is why we call it a short squeeze, because as the underlying share price continues to move up higher and higher, it's continuously squeezing out all the shorts, essentially. Right, that's essentially what's occurring during a short squeeze. And obviously the people who are buying, right, and causing that cascade of shorts closing out their positions. And that's exactly what we want to see on SPWR. And even just based on the call skew on the options chain here for SPWR, it seems a bit more probable that we will see a short squeeze in such a crappy company, right, at such a low valuation and very cheap share price. Well, I wouldn't say it's a low valuation. I think this can continue to go lower. And just overall, just this name is just, again, a good for nothing stock that's only great for short squeezes. So it's a great candidate, and FinTwit has been all over it today. I've been seeing a lot of mentions on it the last few hours of the trading day during market open hours. So SPWR, definitely have this on your watch tomorrow. The contracts are even cheaper than UPST. Okay, I mean, I showed it to you guys here. I'm interested in the 4 call strike contracts with a premium price of $45 per contract. And again, there's a very heavy call side skew for SPWR, and in fact, seems like it was in the money and at the money as well after hours too. So who knows when this or how this contract is going to open up tomorrow. Maybe it might be around 80 to 90 bucks per contract, depending on how much the IV has surged on this specific contract as well. But hey, I'm going to be hawking these 2 tickers tomorrow, and hopefully you guys are as well, because both of these 2 stocks have one major thing, right? One major common factor to them. They have a very high short interest percentage float, and they're all both very beaten down stocks. Okay, so they are literally quite a picture perfect short squeeze candidates, and hopefully you guys are able to use these two tickers and use the specific option contracts that I'm giving you guys tonight on these 2 tickers to your advantage. And again, if you guys want to join us, and if you guys want to know when we enter in, we actually execute the trade, and when we actually exit the trade, make sure you guys join us by becoming a newsletter reader, a report reader, and becoming a private CFO Discord community member. All right, and you guys can do this by swiping up, not swiping up, excuse me, well, yeah, you guys can do that as well. You guys can swipe up on my Instagram story at ChartsFocus1, or you guys can just directly DM me. All right, now to finish off this live stream, I want to quickly go over IWM. So with all of these really crappy small cap companies seeing short squeezes, or potentially seeing a short squeeze, as I said in the description box, that this potential meme stock mania is about to begin again. That means small caps have a huge opportunity to rally to the upside with the other crappy meme stocks that are also considered a small cap. So, in this sense, IWM, I'm glad that we've been frequently increasing our monitoring of this specific index, the Russell 2000, because we have also executed our first position on IWM. We are looking to have a second layer very, very soon, and that can very much come tomorrow if we do see IWM rallying to the upside with the other small cap stocks. And in fact, IWM has making on the daily time frame a very, very nice cup and handle chart pattern, right? And so far today, we have a very, very nice looking inside daily candlestick, okay? And that could potentially mean that we can continue to the upside, since yesterday we had a nice hammer candlestick. The only thing that we need is a very big jump in volume. The volume lately has been lacking to the buy side, but so far we've been able to hold and move sideways, which is great to see, above the daily 50 SMA, this dark blue line here that I'm tracing with my mouse cursor, right? And if we're able to break over 205 tomorrow, this can move to the upside and have some rockets attached to it, as we also start to see, or potentially start to see, the meme stock mania coming back. Does that make sense, guys? Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome. So to everyone who are just joining in now, make sure you guys smash that like button, and also make sure you guys watch the recording, because I go over UPST and SPWR and what specific contracts that you guys have to be looking at tomorrow for each single ticker that I went over tonight, and potentially you guys can profit off really well on those specific contracts tomorrow. So make sure you guys watch the recording. And again, if you guys want to execute the trade with us, right, when I decide to get in tomorrow with my private members and newsletter readers, make sure you guys join us tonight. I have one spot that I'm opening up, right? So make sure you guys join us tonight by DMing me DMing me at ChartsFocus1 on Instagram, or you guys can just go on my story and swipe up and message me there. Right, hey, here you go. Such a killer group. Yeah, man. I mean, we've been absolutely killing it for the past 2.5 weeks. We're really just going for it for the end of Q2. So hopefully we end June on a very strong note as well. All right. So yeah, guys, I mean, that's pretty much it. I wanted to do a fairly quick live stream of only 20 minutes here so far, and just really go over these two specific tickers here, UPST and SPWR, which are very great short squeeze candidates if we do see the meme stock mania coming back, right? And that can very much be the case when we do see the Roaring Kitty live at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time or 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. So, you know, it'll be very interesting tomorrow. It might be a historic day tomorrow, who knows? But we will be watching these two tickers, UPST, SPWR, and the specific contracts that I've attached to each single potential trade. Right? Okay, well, that is it for this live stream. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the very informative, but most importantly, applicable information that I've given you guys tonight. And hopefully you guys are able to execute on those specific contracts that I've given you guys for both UPST and SPWR. With that, guys, I'll see you guys next week on Tuesday at 8:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 11:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much for watching, and good luck tomorrow.